Tusken Raider? I hardly even know her. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Xaereth Prevails. Today we're going to talk about the best 3v3 defensive teams in all the land. Hopefully. It's an interesting meta we've stumbled into here, folks, and there's lots of things like Tuskens that are still good, apparently. I did make an offensive teams video, and guys, you don't want to miss the last team on that video. Actually, it's pretty good. It's really cool, and I would recommend you skip to that part and not watch the rest of the video. So let's find in the video description. I released that video at the exact same time as this one. So huge shout out to my patrons. By the way, you guys are amazing, and I couldn't do this without you guys. I really couldn't. You really don't know how big of an impact it's making to me right now, this time of year especially. It is just so appreciated, guys. So thank you so much for all of it. I couldn't do this without you, like I say. And if you want to support this channel for free, folks, all you gotta do is hit that thumbs up button, like, subscribe, comment. Let's mount yonder algorithm, shall we, folks? We're going into the new year. We've got to keep it going strong, shall we? We've got to, shall we? It makes no sense. Let's get to it here. Whoa, we're in the game. This is madness. Wow. Cool, we're here. We made it, folks. So on defense, we're gonna be trying our hardest to make our opponents run out of good teams here, folks. Because I think we're gonna have a decent offense, even as our opponents don't. They have a lot of offensive tools, more and more, guys. So I'm assuming you don't have Balin. You can put him on defense, he does fine, or you can leave him for offense, he does fine. Honestly, I'm kind of bitter at you people who have him already, so I hope you crash and burn. No, I do hope you win, but I'm not gonna spell it out for you guys. Galactic Legend Ahsoka Tano also seems really strong. Put her on defense, I think, and just cackle maniacally as your opponents have to use really strong teams to beat the teams that you don't have to beat because you have it and your opponents don't. I'm not bitter at all, you can tell by the things I'm saying. So we have Jabba here on defense. I think he's going to be pretty good on defense, but not the greatest. Hopefully you have modded your Chrysanthemum with tenacity so that it beats the Night Sisters comp sometimes. It won't always. This is the gamble team that sometimes people win their GACs on because you're both able to do the fight with Night Sisters, but only one of you wins that fight. So this is still the team, though. There's not a magic comp from Jabba that stops Night Sisters, so I would use this one. Rey, this one might change a little bit. I'm not really sure. I think it's tough in this day and age of Starkiller Datacrons. He is just really strong and beats a lot of Rey teams. He beats a lot of teams, in fact. He does a lot of cool stuff. And I don't know that Ezra stops him. He stops him a little bit because you can't call an assist against Ezra, and Ezra kind of has his pseudo taunt thing going on. He does some things to mess up the common counters to Rey. I'm not saying it's going to hold at a super high clip, but if you don't have Galactic Legend Ahsoka Tano, you can throw Ezra here. The one hitch in this, of course, is there is a good light side level 6, light side unaligned force user Datacron right now that has a good level 6 that, of course, Ezra would be missing out on if you were to put him on the team because he's not an UFU, he is a Jedi. See how he's a Jedi? He's a bearded Jedi. Good for him. He's got kind of like a dress thing as well, which is fine. We don't even need to address it. So this is probably, in my opinion, the first place to use him. Like, I don't think he's gonna make a huge difference on another team. Like sure, he'll kill some stuff with Jedi Master Luke or Kenobi. Probably not Kenobi, but like Jedi Revan. Go crazy, guys. Go nuts. Yeah, you know. Put Jedi Training Rey in there and use a full UFU team, or use Jedi or Baby Cal on there. That's fine. Do what you want, guys. Don't use dark side UFUs, though. Okay, so Lord Vader, I think the thing... So Admiral Pieta is the one, has the Datacron, where unless he's the last one to be killed, he revives everyone that was on the team. And if he's the first one to die, then or the second one to die, I guess, like whenever he revives people, he also gives them all plus 100 offense, among other buffs. And Lord Vader may or may not still survive against Bo-Katan with that. A lot of times in threes, Bo-Katan can be just a little bit shaky. And so I think Piet's the one, like, I think people will probably target Maul. They'll kill Maul first, probably. But then they have to kill Lord Vader while Piet just, like, watches. And that seems a little tricky because Piet gets a lot of turn meter gain and stuff. Like, it seems like maybe he'll be able to throw enough of a hitch in the team that you'll be able to do well. Plus, everyone's going to be hitting Piet if they can. I mean, I guess they'll sometimes hit Vader. I don't know. Like, they'll try to kill Vader. Piet will watch. It'll get weird. The fact that he watches, that's a weird phrase to use. But I think this team is going to be the default for a while. Maybe there'll be a better comp. His Datacron, though, Admiral Piet's comp, it seems pretty good, guys. It seems worthwhile. So go out and try it. Of course, if you use this, you can't use the team that I described on the offensive teams video. So choose wisely, folks. All right, Jedi Master Luke, he's back to his old tricks of just sitting on defense, because what is he doing on offense right now, guys? There's not a Jedi Cron out there. Just have Watt protect you from whatever things people are trying to. Like, people will want to use Sith Eternal to kill a lot of stuff. Sith Eternal can, in some cases, kill your Jedi Master Luke. If you really want to mess with people, guys, if you want to get extra holds with him, then swap out his protection crons for health ones, for health primary, because Basti gives him a huge amount of bonus protection, which is based on how much max health he has, and because he's normally supposed to be modded based off of his protection, because he does extra damage on his shared ability for the team. He doesn't have that shared ability without him being the lead, so it's kind of a wasted thing. So if you're non-lazy, like if you're not lazy the way I am lazy, then you can switch him to all health mods, and he gets extremely obnoxious. In fact, maybe we'll try that this time and surprise everyone. They'll be like, dude, Zareth's gonna be lazy. You know Zareth, he's lazy. And then they'll lose to Jedi Master Luke, to my diabolical plan of switching 6 total mods on him. They'll never see it coming, folks. So it's a pretty good team. It's obnoxious. It's not unbeatable. People have beat it for a long time. It's fine. I think if you're putting enough good teams down, people are not going to have the right teams to beat teams like this super easily. Be prepared to be disappointed by that team as well, though. Jedi Master Kenobi, not unbeatable. I actually think that Bo-Katan has some legs against this squad now that they don't have the auto stun. So we'll have to see, but if Bo-Katan is killing Kenobi, then who is killing the Lord Vader squad? Probably not bounty hunters, so probably worth putting Lord Vader and Kenobi down both, and Bo-Katan will have to choose between the two, and I don't think she'll love either counter. I think she can do either one, beat either one, but I don't think it's going to be 100% either. So make your opponent's decisions sketchy. He's also, if you want to go easy mode, folks, we talk about easy mode sometimes in GAC. If you just want to get through on offense, Kenobi's great for offense. He's just also good on defense. So this would be like the variable team, in my opinion. The team that if you want to make things a little easier for yourself, you keep for offense. And I won't judge you guys. I really won't. At least you won't hear about it. It'll be in my head. I'll keep it to myself. My judgment will be audio free. All right? You might see it in my face, though, or my eyes. I can't help that. That's disappointing. Okay, let's move on. So, Commander Luke, you have a couple choices here, folks. You can do the Armor Shred Ufu version with Luke. It's okay. You can get the thick cron for the squad, which probably stops at least some trooper teams from beating it. Or you could do the thing where they already get a lot of turn meter anyways. You could throw the C-3PO Rebel Cron on here, and then Chupio, if you can get the level 6 that lets you hit underneath protection, then you should do that, and Chupio will assist a lot, and 3PO will get a lot of turn meter. This team seems like a decent team on defense right now, guys. I think troopers, as long as you have the level 3 thick cron for the light side, I think this team is going to stop troopers. Well, I don't know if it beats Iden, though. Like, I think Iden still beats it, but you can put Iden on defense, too, as you'll see here in a minute. We'll just have to see. It's a big game of chicken this season. All right, a lot of people, including myself, have the troopers, the zombie troopers, done and ready. So put them on defense. That was convincing, right? They're gonna be so good on defense. You guys will see. Let's see, Moff Gideon here, just a pretty standard Moff Gideon team. You could, I guess, put Stormtrooper here if you don't want to use the 3D team. You could also use Moff Gideon here. Remember that this team is 2/3 Imperial Trooper, and you have good Imperial Trooper datacrons available to make this team a little more obnoxious. Probably not a lot more obnoxious, but it probably gets more and more obnoxious as you add better characters. Like Moff Gideon is probably a little better than Death Trooper, for instance. So your call. I think this team is going to be good, and it's going to distract people from using... So Iden won't die to Wampa now, as long as you have the Snow Trooper datacron, because he gets... the Wampa will keep hitting Snowtrooper back, but Snowtrooper will have an infinite supply of damage immunity because of his datacron, and so Wampa won't actually get to kill Snowtrooper, probably. Which will be nice. So you can put this on defense. But of course, this team dies horrifically to an Adred team with Baze, because Baze will get rid of that damage immunity on Snowtrooper, and then they'll just destroy your Iden team. And so this team could be used for offense. Of course, you really want the Snowtrooper cron, and it stops people from using Wampa on it. The problem is Adred is going to be wanted to kill this Dark Trooper Moff Gideon team a lot, and the Iden team. And so if you can structure your defenses in a way that forces people to use Adred on one, then they're going to have to find some other solution for the other. Now, they're not unbeatable teams, but they're challenging enough that it's nice to use Adred on one. But what do you use on the other one? I mean, people will find ways, of course, but this is the kind of dilemma you want to cause for your opponents, so that sometimes they're like, dude, I hate 3v3 so much, I hate it the most, I'm gonna just quit and let my opponent win because I don't want to make hard decisions. That'll actually get you a win here and there. So that'll be fun. You'll make your opponents sad. Congratulations. Queen Amidala, Bane just destroys this team, but then they can't use Bane on something else, and at this point, Bane is a real problem in 3s, so it's kind of nice to force people to do that. They'll start trying stupid other things that they have heard will work, like Traya sometimes does work. See, you heard it from me. You heard that it works. It doesn't work that consistently, though, so you can get some holds with this team, or at least take some good teams away from them. Let's see, Saw is pretty good in 3s. I think I prefer Saw in 3s with Luthen as opposed to Mon Mothma. The new Rebel Cron works on all 3 of these guys. Kyle Katarn is kind of nice here. You could probably add a different Rebel if you wanted. You could put Kyle with Mothra if you really wanted. I don't care, guys. I feel like this is my favorite version of the team, because you ought to have an automatic taunting tank from Luthen's worthless guy that he summons, so it can do okay. I think this team will be fine. You'll probably want the Omicron on Saw. I don't care, though, guys. It's one of those teams that you'll just, like, consistently not get holds, and then at some point your opponent will fail like 7 times against it and won't clear, and they'll be like, I never knew that Saw could be a good team on defense. And you'll be like, dude, he can be. It'll be so good. It'll be wise. You'll feel wise. You won't be wise. You'll feel it, though. This team is actually pretty good on offense. I've heard that this team can actually beat the Quadmate team. You heard it here, folks. I wish you luck if you use it for offense. I'll tell you what, guys, I never see this team. I never think to use this team on offense, and so it's a waste for me if I keep it for offense, because then I'm done with offense, and I don't have anything to show for it. I'm like, oh, right, I could have used Zorii. Yeah, that would have been cool, but you put him on defense, get a pretty fast Hero Finn, like 360's pretty decent. Zorii makes him another 35 speed faster, and this team can be fairly obnoxious. Of course, it can be beat by Jedi as long as they have Jedi Revan. It can be beat by a lot of things. Malgus or Malicos, whatever. No, Malagos and Malgus probably both beat it. So let's see, Great Mothers, I put this in the front bottom zone, and your opponents will be gun shy of the old Night Sisters crons, and they will, at least in week 1, use Supreme Leader Kylo or Jedi Master Kenobi to kill it, and you'll benefit until you see that they've done the exact same thing, and you use the exact same teams to counter it. We'll eventually find a good team to counter this, but it's still a fairly strong team, and your opponents won't really know what to do against it except for use one of the very narrow range of counters that we had available to us in the previous seasons. We'll probably develop something more as time goes by, but like I say, right now, no one really knows what beats it very well, because we haven't been in a place without a really strong Night Sister Datacron since these guys were released. Tuskens just got a huge buff with Datacrons. You probably want to use the Tusken Raider. Omicron, guys, I mean, one of the very few, like, 3v3 specific crons that I think everyone should apply if they can afford it, if they have good Tuskens. It's really good. And with the Tusken Chieftain, Omicron or Datacron making this team even stronger. I mean, is it going to get all the holds in the world? No, people know how to beat it, but with extra turn meter to the whole team all the time, it's going to be a tough team to beat. So, I mean, this is their time to shine, guys, as much as sand people can shine. Speaking of sand, we have General Skywalker. I think you just throw him on defense with a couple clones and call it a day. Or you could keep him for offense and tell Zareth how dumb he is for not keeping him on offense and wasting all the banners possible on middling counters that you don't need them for specifically. Though I do think CLS probably has some play into Skywalker at this point as well. So maybe you don't want to, or maybe you'll put CLS on defense like me, and you won't have him available to kill this mid team. Okay, I still think Qui-Gon, Ki-Adi-Mundi, and the Sand Hater himself are the best 3v3 version of the Jedi. This is a team you can kind of leave out because you don't have a cool Jedi Cron anymore, but it still surprises some people. And the lower you get in Kyber, the more of a hindrance it still is, frankly. And they have the thick Cron, so it's tougher to kill Qui-Gon, so you can have a few weird miscues where you like, oh, this will for sure kill Qui-Gon, and then you get him into red, and Anakin gets an extra turn, and then you're not positioned in a way that avoids the big AoE from Anakin, and you just get destroyed. Or you thought you were going to get destroyed, but you were using a light side team yourself, and thus have the thick Cron, and thus survive his AoE in a way that you hadn't anticipated, and this team is still rendered fairly useless. It is your call here, folks. Alright, so I think this team can be decent, guys. I think it's more of like just a speed bump. It's like a, did your opponent know exactly, like, are they going to just throw a really good team away against this? Like, it's not a world beater, but with Dengar taking 1,000,000 turns and Zam also taking 1,000,000 turns by shooting all of the thermals that Dengar provideth, then it can be kind of annoying. Honestly, like at the top levels, probably not a great team, but Zam does make Dengar even fast. He doesn't need to be fast. I don't know. The speed from Zam is not actually that useful. Or you could put L3 here instead, and they'll all be mercenaries. They'll all be stunning people when they do their specials. Bando keeps everyone alive. It's a pretty good team on defense, like kind of obnoxious and good. Your choice between Zam and L3. I probably will be putting L3 here, honestly, instead of Zam. Here's an interesting one. So you can use an Imperial Trooper, Kron, Gar Saxon, and ISC are still pretty good, as it turns out. And Magma Trooper has a Datacron that does an AoE Fear Bomb, and he doesn't turn off their abilities because he's Empire. So try this on defense, I guess. Unless you want to use the cool offensive team that uses Magma Trooper that I talk about in my offensive teams video. And then for backup teams, I talked about this little on offense video as well. Malgus and Traya, yes, they're good on defense, but at what price? Like they're both extremely good on offense and defense. And they're kind of the kind of teams that you really want to be able to say, like, oh, hey, my opponent put an obnoxious Bando team on defense. I would love to have a team that kind of ignored thermals. Oh, well, look at that. We have Malgus. Malgus will ignore said thermals. So, whatever you want to do, folks, if you don't have the teams I've suggested, obviously do as you see fit, but these are also very serviceable offense or defensive teams. See how the words above them say backup choice? It's because it's a choice that you can use as a potential backup. So anyways, folks, that's it for today. That's the defensive teams that I've chosen. What teams would you choose? What teams are other content creators telling you are significantly better than the choices Xaereth makes? I don't actually care about that as much, but I would be interested to hear more discussion on this, guys. So come watch me on Twitch. It's linked in the video description, as well as we'll be also updating the schedule and adhering to it on Twitch in the coming year. So anyways, stay tuned for more announcements on this channel as well. Kind of big things are happening over in Xaereth Land, so won't be announcing them in this video, but stay tuned. Guys, thank you all so much for watching, and remember that in all things, Xaereth prevails. Take care, folks.